Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now just days away from the 8-1 Philadelphia Eagles entering Jerry World. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most important episode of the Glockcast to date. It is Dallas week, and I remember as a kid waking up for school, putting on Angelo Cataldi and hearing that passion and that excitement, and then getting off the bus, running into my house, and listening to Howard Eskin and hearing the excitement of the city. And I knew right then and there this is what I wanted to do for a living, and I am so happy that I'm behind a mic and I could bring that passion and excitement for you today. Wall to wall, Eagles, Cowboys, we'll have you covered from every angle. And I'm not here alone. Ladies and gentlemen, back from sunny Punta Cana, Robbie McLaughlin in the house.
What's going on? I'm happy to be back in football weather, but not as jazzed up as you are. I'll get into it.
Oh, I don't like that tone, Rob. I do not like it. But you know what? We had to bring the band back together for such an important week. We have the Coxman in the building, Shane Dunphy.
What's going on?
I'm
happy
ready.
To be here, man.
I'm ready. Are you guys ready or what?
I'm excited. I'm jacked up.
This is it. This isn't, I mean, this game maybe lost a little bit of its luster with Zeke and Sean Lee out, but not for me. This is important. It's all about the end of the road here. And Dallas is a blimp on our radar screen, and we got to knock them right off.
Yeah, we got to put our foot on their throat, but with Zeke out, it loses some of its luster.
This could be the nail in the coffin, though. We win this week, and I think we win
This
big,
needs to be the
We'll
nail in the coffin for the
We'll
Cowboys. Yeah, we'll get into it today. And, guys, the NFL is out of complete control as usual. What caught your eye this past week, fellas?
Jay Chicken Cutler is ass, and the Dolphins are ass.
That was the dude. They've been on prime time 3 straight weeks. Thursday against Baltimore, they got blanketed, put everybody to sleep. Then Sunday night, didn't watch a second of it, but I heard it was a snooze fest. And then Monday, I watched every second and was a complete disaster. NFL, please.
Yeah, they need to figure it out.
What the Dolphins? My God. Rob, what caught your eye?
Sunday and Monday night game this week are awesome. But
yes,
I'll jump back to
last
last week.
We'll get into that.
The Saints, 7 straight games, went to Buffalo and dominated. That's what caught my eye.
Yeah, Saints are a buzzsaw right now that I'm actually pretty concerned about.
So that's probably the team you guys are most scared of right now is the Saints, blocking the Eagles' path to Minneapolis.
Well, for a couple of reasons. Sean Payton, experienced. Drew Brees, Hall of Famer, experienced. And Alvin Kamara looks like Darren Sproles on steroids.
I know. That's what scares me, too. They have the quarterback, but they're doing it through running the ball and defense right now. And then Sean Payton and Drew Brees can do it, so it's like the perfect storm.
Yeah, and Jim Schwartz's defenses, the kryptonite has kind of been Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I remember last year Rodgers was picking them apart, even back in those years in Detroit. You would kind of like to not play a Hall of Fame quarterback, ideally. To give me Goff, give me Case Keenum, even give me Russell Wilson to a certain extent. Breeze might be the best one left. Mm-hmm. You know what caught my eye? The Packers are lurching. They're there. They're still there somehow, some way. They're 5-4, and I'm having this nightmare, this reoccurring nightmare, that Aaron Rodgers is going to come back and they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I've seen this script before. I've read this story. I've seen this movie, and I'm just petrified. Can somebody just put them out of their misery, please?
Are you on bath salts? Brett Hundley stinks.
Dude, they're 5-4. They got the Ravens this week. Their schedule's pretty favorable.
Stop.
Tell the stinking Bears to knock them out then. Because put them out of their misery.
The Bears stink.
They're hanging around. They're hanging around, dude. They're hanging around.
They got no shot, dude.
They're hanging around. Yes, they are.
Mike McCarthy's filled with cheese. That's all I have to say. They have no shot.
All right. Well, the only teams I'm scared of are the Saints and the Packers. I'm not scared of this Packer team. I'm scared of what the Packers could be if they sneak into the playoffs. So let's get that straight right now.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. You'll see. Knock them off, and I'll be done bringing them up.
I don't want to see Rodgers come back, believe me. But
so what are you guys' thoughts on the Rams here?
They look good, man. I mean, Jared Goff is he's not elite, I would say, but, I mean, he's putting up the numbers, and they're winning. So.
You think they're for real as far as a Super Bowl contender?
I think they might. They got a tough schedule ahead trying to get into the playoffs, but
I got a tough time saying they're a Super Bowl contender with Jared Goff. I haven't seen enough.
I mean, he's been pretty good. But let's go over. I'm going to go over some schedules here while you brought it up, Shane. The Rams have a tough end of this season here. They're at the Vikings this week versus the Saints, at Arizona, which, obviously an easy game there, versus the Eagles, at Seattle, at the Titans, and they come back for the Niners. Let's go over it. Vikings.
Toss up.
Yeah, that's.
Win or loss?
I'll give him an L there.
L.
I'm going L as well. Versus the Saints. By the way, both of these games help the Eagles. Somebody's got to lose one of these. So
that's a home game for them.
At home versus the Saints.
I'll give them a win there.
I'll take Breezy's rolling.
I'm going with the Saints there. There's 2 losses. They're not, now all of a sudden they're 7-4. At Arizona, we'll just give them a win for, whatever. That's 8-4 versus the Eagles. We'll see.
Loss for the Rams.
There you go. That's the attitude I'm looking for on Dallas week. All right, so there's another loss. And they could be they could end up with like 6 or 7 losses. So I'm not really there with them yet. Now, if we take that a step further and look at the Saints, they got the Redskins this week. I think the Redskins are pretty much cooked, right?
The defense is done. They might score 50.
The Redskins look rough.
Yeah, the overs could be at 100.
I mean, that's in the
Probably
dome.
Still take the overs. Yeah.
Yeah, the Saints are going to win that game. Then they got to go to L.A., which, again, win-win for the Eagles. Saints and Rams, one of them's got to lose. First Carolina, at Atlanta, versus the Jets, versus Atlanta, at the Bucks. So.
Yeah, not easy. Atlanta twice is tough.
Yeah.
Twice in 3 weeks, too.
It is tough. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's all about home field advantage, and let's continue with this. Speaking of home field advantage, Matt Hudson wrote a fire piece talking about how big this week is for the Eagles, and home field advantage was the number one thing. So we're going to bring him on right now from Arizona. Matty Hudson, what up, buddy?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
We're doing pretty damn good. We are ready for Sunday, 8:30. But, Matt, talk about the importance of home field advantage here for the Eagles for a second and why you think this week is so big of a game.
Well, yeah, my first concern is why is Robbie not fired up? I understand Zeke is out, Sean Lee is out. That's good for us. This week is gigantic.
Yeah, we're going to win. I'm not fired up because we're going to go there and we're going to win. There's no doubt in my mind.
Dude, so you should be fired up for home field advantage. We don't have to see Dallas in the playoffs, and we don't have to deal with this scary wild card race.
That's great.
You're
I'm
wrong.
8-1.
Packers are scary if they get in. We don't want to deal with a scary wild card race. We must win this game. I am fired up.
We're not.
That's what I want to hear, Matty. That's what I want to hear, baby. So, Matt, you know what? You're going to get a little more mad at Rob here in a second because I want to go over our top 5 teams. You are our power rankings guy. You've been pretty damn good all year. The Panthers are back from the dead. So I want to hear your top 5 teams right now. And additionally, who scares you the most for the Eagles in their path to get to the Super Bowl?
Top 5 teams, we got Eagles coming in at 1 per usual. Patriots 2, the New Orleans Saints at 3, Steelers 4, and we got those Rams hanging around at number 5.
Finally buying in on the
Rams.
Rams.
I gotta say, Saints is absolutely the scariest. 7 in a row, and they don't look like they're cooling down anytime soon.
No, I think we're all in unison here about that. I know Shane concurs. Robbie agrees. Hall of Fame quarterback. Pretty damn good running game. Probably a Hall of Fame head coach when all's said and done. But you know what? You got to beat somebody to get to the Super Bowl, and the Eagles are just going to have to do that if it comes down to the Saints. Ideally, we want to play them in Philly, though. Shane, who's your top 5 right now?
I got the Birds at 1, Pats at 2, Saints at 3, Rams at 4, and I think I'm going to go Panthers over the Steelers. I'm not impressed with Big Ben lately.
Panthers getting into the top 5. And I like that too, Shane, because I'm going to back you up here. One schedule we didn't get into was the Panthers. They're 7-3. Matt likes the Panthers a lot. They're on a bye this week. They get Olsen back. They go to the Jets, which should be a win. They're at the Saints. Okay, maybe a toss-up, whatever. Probably a loss. Then they got the Vikings, Pack, and Bucks all at home at the Falcons to end the season. I don't see many losses on that schedule, to be honest with you. Maybe one. So that leaves them at 12-4, 11-5 at worst. So they're probably going to get in. Rob, who's your top 5?
My top 5 is the New England Patriots at 1.
Matt?
Cut me a break, dude. Cut me a break.
Get on him, please.
Tom Brady's NFL.
How?
What?
How?
Tom Brady.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, that's right.
He is the
that's
general,
right.
but it's still Tom Brady's NFL. Until he passes the torch, until he loses, he'll be in the Super Bowl waiting for Carson Wentz.
He's lost this year, and he's going to lose when we face the Eagles in the Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
All right. Go ahead, Ralph.
After that, it's the Eagles, Saints, Steelers, and Chiefs.
Oh, God.
My goodness.
Go back to
Oh,
Punta
man.
Cana.
I would go
You
back
got
to
too much
Punta
sun in that parade.
The Chiefs are going to be there. It's going to be AFC Championship, Chiefs versus Pats.
All right. Slow down. All right, my top 5, pretty much the same as everybody else. I got the Eagles, Patriots. I'm moving the Saints up to 3. I was, by the way, the first one to put the Saints in the top 5 on this panel, and including you, Matt. Number 3, 4, the Rams. 5, I'm going to stick with the Steelers, but I think they absolutely suck. And that's who I want the Eagles to play in the Super Bowl, because I know if the Eagles play the Steelers in the Super Bowl, the Eagles will be the Super Bowl champions.
Ain't going to happen. Do you know that?
Why?
Big
'Cause
Ben's
Tom
not
Brady.
beating Tom Brady.
Okay.
That's why.
All right.
Did you watch last year?
It might happen.
Yeah, Matt's been taking a beating for calling the Steelers the most explosive team in the NFL.
Big
They
Ben's
got
so
the league's
fat and out of
leading
shape.
rusher and the league's leading receiver on the same damn team, plus Juju Smith-Schuster.
And they have the
How's
most
that not
out of shape
explosive?
quarterback, too.
And their quarterback weighs in at 358 pounds.
All right, Matt. Matt, I want to hear the importance of Sunday's game one more time for you, a little bit about the rivalry, and then I need a prediction and score, so the floor is yours.
Obviously, it's Dallas week, always an important week. But to me, I hate to sound negative, we don't have this division locked up yet. We don't. Eagles
Vegas
win this week.
thinks differently.
I think differently.
Before the season started, Vegas didn't think differently, and Vegas isn't always wrong. The Eagles were, I don't even know the odds, but it was ridiculous to win the NFC East. They lose this game, Dallas is 2 games behind and right back in it. We absolutely have to win this game because then we can sail to win the NFC East. Second, home field advantage starts now. I'm not only afraid of the Saints. Yes, the Eagles are absolutely the best team. I don't want to play Seattle in Seattle. I don't want to go play Carolina in Carolina again. It's going to be hard to win twice there. I don't want to play any of these divisional winning teams not at the Link. I want every playoff game to be at the Link so we can hoist that Lombardi trophy.
I agree with you.
Not as important, but I am so sick of hearing all these people trying to say that Dak is better than Wentz. Could you imagine if Wentz had a guy like Ezekiel Elliott running the ball?
He does now.
Look what he's doing without it.
Yeah, Dak's a
Scary.
virgin. Simple as that. Dak's a virgin.
I'm not going to sit here and
Dak's
roast
a good
Dak, but
quarterback.
Wentz is better than Dak.
Dak is a good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. I wrote that. But he's not as good as Carson Wentz. I'm absolutely sick and tired of hearing it. Also, if we lose this game, let's say we still win the division, if Dallas sneaks into a wild card spot, which they absolutely can if they win this game, now we have to play Dallas 3 times in 1 year potentially? No, thank you. Zeke will be back from a suspension. Don't want to deal with it. Do not want to deal with that.
So this game's gigantic, is
A
what you're trying
major
to say.
week. It's super important. We have to win this game.
All right, well, give me a
Go
prediction.
win.
Do they win this game?
My prediction?
Yeah.
I saw what the Falcons did to that O-line. Fletcher Cox is going to absolutely torment this O-line. Eagles win 37-13.
Woo! I like it. I like it a lot. I
Man,
hope
you
that is
sound
the
really
case.
nervous about this game.
37-13. Giant week, statement game. Grip the NFL by the balls and run them out of their own building.
All right, sounds good, Maddie. Thank you for checking in. We will talk to you next week. Go Birds.
Go Birds, baby. Let's go.
All right, that's Matt Hudson. He
Whoa.
is a trip. He does a hell of a job for Mouthpiece, though. He's trying to get everybody fired up, and I am right with him.
I got a quick theory real quick. I just saw Dak on a Chunky Campbell's commercial. You know who else did that?
Oh, my gosh,
Donovan
McNabb.
McNabb.
Wow.
And you guess what?
Kinda
Guess what Donovan McNabb never did? Win a Super Bowl. Guess what Dak Prescott's not going to do? Win a Super Bowl. I'm convinced.
It's a sound theory.
I like that,
I am
actually. I didn't know he was on the Chunky
Yeah,
Suit.
have fun getting fat.
He
Virgin.
does look a little like Donovan. He reminds me a little of Donovan, too, actually, now that you say
Plays
it.
like him.
All right, so we'll just wrap Matt up here, though, a little bit. I want to hear, before we move into fantasy, I want to hear who you guys got at the end of the season in the playoffs. Because the NFC, just the NFC race is tight, man. I know we went over our top 5 teams, but at the end, I want to hear what you think at the end. I'll start if you guys want here. I'm gonna say the Eagles do get the home field advantage. I think their schedule is not as tough as everybody thinks. The worst case scenario, they split Seattle and the Rams, and then take New Year's Eve off against Dallas. 13-3, 12-4 at worst, and that should do it. Saints 2, Seattle 3, and then they would match up in my rankings against the Rams. I would have put the Rams down at 6 because the Panthers don't have many losses. I have the Vikings winning the division at 4, playing the Panthers. So in that scenario, it would probably be Eagles and Panthers in Lincoln Financial Field, which won't be the easiest game, but let's just get there and then we'll talk about it then. How about you guys? What do you think here?
Yeah, I'm on the same exact path as you. It's just I don't know if the Rams or the Seahawks are going to win the division.
But the same 6 teams?
Yes.
Yeah, I got the same 6 too.
Okay. So so Falcons done, Packers done, Cowboys out, Detroit no.
Atlanta does have 2 big games against the Saints end of the year. That could kind of propel them, but the Saints are a buzzsaw right now.
I mean, and you guys are on the same page here. I hope everybody listening is on the same page as well, that the division's pretty much locked up.
Oh, it's
It's
over.
all about home field advantage now. We're here, and I want to stress, I did it last week, I want to stress the importance of now is the time. Aaron Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl ring. That's it. Drew Brees, who's having a great year this year, has 1 Super Bowl ring. It happened 100 years ago. It's tough to get back to this stage, and the Eagles have the chance right now. Cam Newton hasn't been back yet. They blew their shot. Atlanta, look, Super Bowl last year, and they're probably not going to make the playoffs this year. When you have your chance, you have to capitalize on your chance, and I think the time has to be now.
Yeah, shoot your shot. I think it's the perfect stage for the Eagles. I mean, everything that could have went wrong for other teams went wrong, and it's setting up the Eagles right. I mean, Sherman out. They signed Byron Maxwell, that bum. What an idiot.
Yep.
I'm not scared of anyone besides the Saints. And, I mean, Rodgers going to, like, everything that could have went in the Eagles' favor happened so far. So it's got to continue that way.
So far, so good. And you know what's not really happening in my favor is fantasy. I'm not doing so good with injuries, and I'm making stupid decisions, and I'm starting guys like Corey Davis, who I have an obsession with. So I'm going to need you, Shane, to help me out. But fantasy football fans, if you're just like me and your regular season league isn't going so well, there's still a lot of fantasy football time left. So listen up. You can join the highest rated fantasy football app, Draft. Playing a real live snake draft would be done in under 5 minutes, and they last for just 1 week. Draft starts every couple of minutes, so you can join one right now for week 11. The best part? Play for cold hard cash. And get this, your chances of winning are 80% better than on salary cap sites. All new players get a free entry into a real money draft when you make your first deposit. But you have to use the promo code MPST. That's right. Play a real money game for free just by using the promo code MPST. And it gets even better. Draft is so sure you'll love the app that they're even offering Glockcast listeners a free money-back guarantee up to $100. Just search Draft in your app store or go to draft.com and come play free right now with promo code MPST. Get in. I'll tweet out our league today. It goes quick, so sign up. Shane, I need a little help this week. I need you to start with who's going to be the studs, and then I need you to help me who's going to be the sleepers because you've been hot.
Yeah, so I'm not an offensive coordinator. I don't know who's getting the ball, but I'm like a psychopath when it comes to looking at trends, statistics, who the matchups are. Kareem the Dream is like my favorite play this week. I think Kareem Hunt comes back off a bye. Andy Reid, the last couple games, hasn't been feeding them, and they've been losing. Run the ball, Andy. Figure it out. Give it to Kareem. I mean, the Giants are a dumpster fire. I think he gets back on track, and you should see a heavy workload in the passing game as well. I mean, last week they lost to the 49ers. Ben McAdoo looks like a pedophile, and they are going to get ran by the – that's my game.
And Andy off a bye, dude. Oh, you said it, man.
Also, I like Shady, too. He had 2 down weeks. He had 8 carries last week. I mean, they were playing from behind, and the week before, 12 carries when they lost to the Jets. So,
does the benching of Tyrod Taylor affect Shady, or does it almost help Shady more?
definitely help Shady. I mean, what's the guy's name? Nate Peterman. Who cares? Check down City to Shady in the passing game, and I'm sure they're going to come in with a run attack. And they're playing the Chargers, who, last I checked, don't have the best run defense either. Wide receivers I like. DeAndre Hopkins. I don't care who's throwing the ball. Tom Savage. It could be Uncle Rico back there for all I care. That guy's a machine. He's like an absolute robot. Throw the ball his way, he's going to catch it. He's got 29 targets last 2 weeks. For me, I don't care. The volume's there. Just start him. And Julio Jones against the Seattle Seahawks. The Legion of Boom's done. It's gone. And Richard Sherman's hurt. They brought in Byron Maxwell, who there's a report supposedly supposed to cover Julio Jones. There is no shot in hell. Not on this green.
That can't happen.
This green earth that he can cover that horse. There's no way.
And that's gonna be an interesting Monday night game. Finally, a good one. I mean, Julio's got to get in the end zone here. He's been kind of a bust.
And I hate
said
saying
it last
he's
week.
due. I hate saying someone's due, but that dude's due.
I said it last week. Who's been your biggest bust so far this year? Is it Julio? I said Mike Evans.
I side with Evans, who should have a bounce back week after getting suspended, to be honest with you. He's probably mad at the world right now. And Fitz, who looks like he's running for his life back there. If there's anyone to throw it to, it's Mike Evans in that big 6'5" frame. I also like I like Amari Cooper this week too.
Oh man,
I'm
going
telling
back
you,
down that road for me.
Hey, the last time I said start Amari Cooper,
he went for 100
nuts.
points.
He went nuts. So I think New England's defense is not that great. So I think Derek Carr, New England coming all the way across to California. Derek Carr is a big game, and Amari Cooper benefits from it too. QBs, which will be kind of a nice little segue. I love Carson Wentz this week. Absolutely love him.
I agree.
And I'm not even trying to be biased for the Birds, but he might put up over 300 yards in 3
I'm going to
TDs.
come in with one. I think Ajayi gets nuts. I think Ajayi gets loose.
I kind of like it. The running game's going to establish the play action, and they're going to allow him to throw it down
I
the
want to
field.
run a stat by you here. I've been waiting for it. I was hoping you were going to bring up an Eagle. I was going to bring this up later, but I'm going to bring it up now. With Sean Lee, opposing teams are averaging 80 yards rushing. Without Sean Lee, opposing teams are averaging 153. My goodness. If you want to get Jay Ajayi going and help the offensive line and get the pressure off your quarterback,
The J
how about
train,
it?
baby.
This is the week. This could be the week.
All aboard the J train. I just tried to trade for him in fantasy, and they weren't having it.
Well, you shut me down on my Kareem hunt for Jay Ajayi.
Yeah, I would hold on to Kareem, though, dude. I'm telling you, Andy realizes that he's fat and dumb and that he needs to run the ball. I guarantee Kareem has like 20 carries this week. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope that helps you out there because I need all the help I can freaking get. Injuries, just bad decisions across the board. I hope everybody out there is paying attention to my man. He's been on fire. He called Alvin Kamara 6 weeks ago. So check out. He'll have his full matchup report. We'll have it out for Friday. All right, so let's talk about it, guys. Let's move on to the Birds. Rob, how could you not be excited for this game?
No, I am excited. I want to squeeze Dak Prescott's head off. I just think that we're going to go in there and we're going to win.
You squeeze that head off, chunky soup comes out. I'll tell you that.
So you are. So it's not that you're not excited. It's you said something about the Zeke losing the luster, Sean Lee.
We're a lock to go in and win. We're just going to roll.
Yeah, when I beat someone, I want all the dogs there. I don't want any excuse. Like Skip Bayless already giving excuses. I mean, I don't care. Like bring everybody. We'll roll you anyway.
You know what? So we're all in agreement that the Eagles are going to win. All right, let's let the cat out of the bag. I'll have my full report Sunday, but we're in agreement that the Eagles should win this game. I like what Matt said. It's almost a must-win game with the injuries, but there's got to be some stuff that worries you guys. And I'll just start. Protect Wentz. I think that is my number one issue going forward. The Cowboys can rush the passer. Dallas has their backs up against the wall. Anything?
I mean, if you establish the run like we just talked about, that's going to be the way to protect Wentz for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there a nickname for Blunt and Ajayi yet? Because it's not, you can't be Thunder and Lightning. It's like Thunder and then more Thunder and then get out of the way.
I mean, we're in agreement, but the Eagles have to bring it. We'll see how they are off after the bye. Are they going to be sluggish? Dallas backs are up against the wall, and I did a Q&A with CowboysBlog.net. Joe Rodriguez, he did me a solid. He answered a few questions that I thought were appropriate for this week. He talked about Tyron Smith and how big of a loss that could be for the Cowboys if he doesn't play again. And we obviously saw Sunday, Adrian Claiborne buried Chaz Green. And this dude, Joe, buried Chaz Green in the Q&A. And you could just tell that that's his biggest fear. I mean, he says it right in the article, but, I mean, he mentioned Tyron Smith multiple times. See, I think Sean Lee might be a bigger loss for the Cowboys as far as I think the Eagles, if Tyron Smith plays, whatever.
Well, if he doesn't play, the Falcons at 8 sacks, we might have 12 sacks legitimately.
Well, now that Lee's definitely out, it'd be great to have Smith out as well. But if I could pick one or the other, I would probably pick Sean Lee for me.
Yeah, well, Lee makes that defense go. I mean, he's like a Luke Kuechly back there. Just he's yelling out every play. He's commanding everybody. But I mean,
they're 0-3 without Lee. They're 5-1 with Lee. You can throw out any stat you want. Sean Lee's obviously important, and losing the best left tackle.
Yeah.
So, also interesting. I was very interested to hear the Dallas perspective on Wentz and Dak, because you know my stance. Wentz is far and away the better player. I seen a tweet today that said Dak's good, Wentz is good. Some weeks Dak will be better, some weeks Wentz will be better. But dude, Wentz is better. Wentz is better. Somebody's better and somebody's worse. They're Tom Brady and Brett Favre. Brady's better than Favre. Peyton Manning and Chad Pennington. Peyton Manning's better than Chad Pennington. I don't know, I'm pulling names out of my ass here, but somebody's got to be better than the other person. Like, somebody's got to be better, somebody's got to be worse. Wentz is better than Dak. And, I mean, I don't know how people can't see that. And, of course, Joe, the Cowboys writer, said that he believes Dak, and he talked about Dak's it factor. But Wentz has an it factor, too. Wentz has it. I mean, let's look at Wentz's stats here. I got some stats here. The one alarming stat is his completion percentage. He's 60.5 completion percentage, 28th in the league. That's pretty scary, right? But then we get to the red zone. His completion percentage is 66.67, third best in the NFL. So he is accurate when it counts most. He's first in touchdowns, first in red zone touchdowns. He's got third in quarterback rating, 104.1. This kid is just on another level.
Torrey Smith dropped everything under the sun for the first 4 games, so that could have something to do with it.
Yeah,
He doesn't play in the red zone, so.
Of course, the Dallas writer was going to say that Dak was the better quarterback. But, I mean, now I've been saying it for weeks. November 19th, all roads lead to November 19th. Here we are. It's time to shine. And I don't care about the Cowboys' injuries. I really don't, because the Eagles have injuries. Jason Peters is a Hall of Fame left tackle.
Yeah.
Like, Dak has weapons. He's had weapons all season, and he hasn't put up the stats that Wentz has. Granted, they're a running team, but I don't want to hear the loss of whoever. If you're a better quarterback than Carson Wentz, you win at home, and that's the bottom line. And you're a good team. You still have Des Bryant. You still have weapons. I just don't want to hear it. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, last year, if you look at the Eagles, right, Wentz had like 0 weapons. Dak had all the weapons under the sun. He had Zeke, Jason Witten, who's a Hall of Famer, Des Bryant.
He still has weapons now, even without Zeke.
That's my point, is he still has the weapons, and he's not having as good of a year as he did last year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a decline, and I think Wentz obviously gave him some new shiny toys, and he's showing that you give me toys, I'm going to know how to play with them.
Yeah, and I can't wait for, hopefully, Wentz to put this debate. I know that you can't put it to rest in year 2, but at least put it to rest for a little while, and then we'll reevaluate in a couple of years this Sunday. So, obviously, the Dallas rivalry is huge. How important is this rivalry to you guys? Biggest rivalry in sports, right or wrong?
For me, yeah. I mean, Flyers, obviously, Penguins, but Eagles, Dallas is like it was like ingrained in your skull. Like, you have to hate Dallas. Like, as soon as you come out of the wound, it's like, fuck Dallas. Like,
absolutely. Boo Michael Irvin. Fuck him.
Every time I see that Cowboys star, I get enraged, and it's like, I'll hate other teams on a given year, but there's no franchise I hate more than Dallas Cowboys. I want to win this game, and I don't care who's out, I don't care who's not playing. This is important. The Eagles are 8-1. They need to get to 9-1, and our arch rival is standing in our way on national TV for everybody to see. This is important, and I want to also hit on, speaking of its Dallas Week rivalry, what's your favorite moment of the Dallas rivalry? And I want you guys to get involved too. Tweet us at MP Sports Talk. I want to hear your favorite Eagles Cowboy moment of the rivalry. Tweet us. It'll be great storytelling. I want to hear it. Tweet us. Shane, what's your favorite moment?
I got to go with the Dallas blowout at home to get back into the playoffs. I mean, the entire team was buzzing that day.
44-6. That's also
Yep.
mine. I want to tell some stories about that one too.
Yeah, it was a great game. I mean,
December
B-Dawk was all over the place. It was,
29th, 08.
yeah, baby.
Awesome one.
Yeah, mine revolve around two stud running backs. Shady McCoy in 2014 went for $150 on Thanksgiving. Brian, the host of this podcast, was falling through tables, stuffing his face with mashed potatoes.
I don't remember that.
Started drinking around 7 a.m.
I don't remember that at all.
And the other one's the pickle juice game. It was about 110 degrees.
Oh, pickle juice game was good. Pickle juice game was good because that was when this was kind of like this year when you knew the Eagles were back. It's kind of like, I guess, the Carolina game, maybe to a certain extent this year because that was like the moment you knew the Eagles were back. But that Dallas game, that was when you knew that wait, we're better than Dallas now. It's over for them. It's our time. I agree with you. And I'm going to take Shane's a step further, the 44-6 game. The Eagles lost the week before. Playoffs hopes were dashed. And I actually went to the game with a couple of my buddies, and we got in the car. We were like, oh, we don't want to go to this. The Eagles suck. They're not going to the playoffs. They just blew it last week. Every negative thing in the book. The Eagles needed a miracle to happen. Tampa lost to the Raiders, and then Chicago lost to Houston at Houston. Houston was like god-awful. Somehow, some way, the Eagles-Cowboys game, which was at 4, became a winner-take-all, go to the playoffs as the 6th-seed game because the Giants were the division winner that year. And we stormed into the stadium, knocking people out, like, let's go. We're going to the playoffs. Before I even got to my seat, the Eagles were up 7-0. The rest was history, 44-6. The Eagles ended up going to the NFC title game that year, and that was my favorite Eagle-Cowboy moment ever, although there is a ton. So tweet us at MP Sports Talk. I want to hear your favorite Dallas moment, and I also want to hear predictions. These guys will get to their predictions in a second. But on the line, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, I was a little hesitant to bring him on the show because he is a wild card. But I'm so happy to have him on for this week, Dallas week. He is the man that I am deeming the leader of Eagles fandom. He is the leader of Eagles Nation. He's taken over the Dirty 30. He's way better than them. He goes to every game, no matter what the circumstance is, pays whatever amount. I'll tell you one story before I bring him on. He got a ticket. It was the Eagles-Giants game a couple years ago. He bought a ticket to the game, whatever, lost it, borrowed money off me, bought another ticket. It was fake. Then bought a third ticket and then got into the game. And then he got kicked out 5 minutes into the first quarter. But either way, he is a true Eagles fan and the leader of Eagles fandom. I give you Jordan Bruni. What up, Jordan?
What is going on? I like that intro right there.
Yep, you are the number one Eagles fan that I know, and that's saying something coming from me.
I try to keep that ruthless reputation of the Eagles fan base.
Oh, you are the stereotype.
The Veterans Stadium days.
So, Jordan, how have you been getting ready for Dallas week? We had a bye. How have you been getting ready?
Look, Dallas week has been going on since last week, okay? Dallas week since we beat Denver, directly after that game is when I got into this zone. And I'll tell you one thing. All last week, before Ezekiel Elliott, before all this nonsense, I don't care who you put on the field, first of all. I don't care if Sean Lee's on there. I don't care if Ezekiel Elliott's there. I don't care if their tackle's there. I don't care. I think the Eagles would win this game. Now, I was so angry last week, and you know the type of guy I am. I'm an angry guy.
To start with.
I despise these Cowboys fans. And the more social media I go on, the more my blood pressure rises. And I'm sitting in the apartment last week, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm thinking of stuff in my head, these situations in my head, and my girlfriend's saying, what are you doing? Why are you shaking? I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking about that Dallas game, and I'm thinking about the cockroach fans and the ones that are from Philadelphia that saw Emmitt Smith, holding a trophy back in the 90s. I'm just angry. And once Ezekiel Elliott, was suspended, injuries going into this game. They pulled back a little bit, and it bothered me because I think it took some fire out of this rivalry. They kind of accepted, and they laid down. They said, we'd beat you if we had those guys, but we don't. So we'll give this one to the Eagles.
That's kind of what Rob's been
like
saying.
that.
That's what's kind
I don't
of
want it like that.
that's what Rob's been saying. He said the game lost a little bit of its sizzle due to the injuries, and you got guys like Skip Bayless waving the white flag on Fox Sports and saying, "Oh, the season's over. It'll be a miracle if they beat the Eagles." Of course, building in an excuse to if they do beat the Eagles, then you'll never hear the end of it.
Everybody's been. This kind of came down to a game where we could see, the top quarterbacks. Amongst the NFC right now, it's Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz going back and forth like a shootout, and now it's to kind of be pulled away a little bit. But regardless, I think Wentz comes out on top. And I digress. I'm going to digress a little bit because what I'm going to say is Wentz is basically in Dak's situation. He was in that situation last year. We had no blocking. We had no wide receivers.
No, the leading receivers were Jordan Matthews and DGB in last year's game.
Oh my God.
In Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. And you remember how angry those guys made us last year. But I'm telling you, Wentz is in that situation. Was in that situation last year. So I don't want to hear the excuses and it's nonsense. And this is another thing. And Cowboy fans need to understand this. Glock, how many people are on a roster? 53 people. Am I correct?
You're right.
Well, you know what? Good teams have something called depth. It's the next man up. It's rotation.
You don't mean they have the garbage man from Arlington playing left tackle, Chaz Green?
Look,
How happy are you about Big V? How thankful are you for Big V, huh?
I'm thankful for Big V, but look, let's not get all over him. We don't know. This is kind of also scary game because, like you said, I heard you a little bit earlier. You were saying, this is a lot of pressure on us because if we lose a game where Dallas has a lot of injuries, it's really going to make us look bad.
It is. It's not going to be good. And Dallas's back is up against the wall. I mean, are you at all afraid of this game come Sunday? Are you nervous?
Look,
and what would be the thing that would lead you to be nervous?
Look, their coach is Jason Garrett, okay? He's not the smartest guy in the world. He's not going to know really what to do. He's not going to have any – I don't think he has anything creative up his sleeve.
No.
So I'm not too worried about it. I think Doug Peterson is a more prepared coach. I think the Eagles coaching staff is more prepared. So there's nothing Dallas is going to do to outsmart the Eagles. But it is still scary, obviously, that Dallas receiving core is still there. You still got Dez. You still got Beasley. You still got Witten at tight end. You still got Williams. You still got to worry about those guys. And that basically comes down to putting a lot of pressure on Dak Prescott like the Falcons did.
Yeah, it's for sure. They're going to have to be in Dak's space all night long. The Cowboys shouldn't be able to run the ball against the Eagles, but they got to put some pressure on Prescott, make him uncomfortable. All right, Jordan, it's time. I need your prediction. Score. Who you got?
All right. I'm gonna do it this way, okay? It's going to be 27-20, but the last touchdown that Dallas scores will be with like a minute or 50 seconds left. So technically it'll be 27-13, but they'll get that touchdown at the end of the game.
So backdoor score there. Not to mess with the spread. The Eagles are favored by 3.5. All right. Yeah. So give me one. I need one, Jordan. I said you're the leader of the Eagles fandom. Let me hear it.
All right, baby, let's get it right now.
Yeah, baby. All right, Jordan, thanks for being with us. We'll talk to you down the line. All right, that's my boy Jordan Bruni. He's out of his mind completely and utterly, but I love it. He is a huge Eagle fan, bleeds green, and I'm really glad he could be on for Dallas week.
Need to have a beer with that guy immediately.
We got to get him up here to beat the guy who lets us in here up.
He's out of his mind, dude. He is out of his mind. All right, boys. Speaking of putting people on the spot, Rob, I'm going to start with you. I need a breakdown of this game, some keys to the game, and then I need your prediction.
All right, the start of this game is going to start off a little rough for the Eagles because I think they're going to have some dust. It's Wentz's second time with a bye. It's not as easy as it sounds. They're traveling. It's at 8:30 at night. Can they get hype in time? And then I think they might go down early, 7, 10-0. But it's going to end up 27-21 Birds.
27-21 Birds. All right, Shane, you're on the spot here. Let me hear your prediction.
I'm not worried about, I'm not worried about Dallas per se. The one guy is Rod Smith I would look out for. Just a little like scat back out of the back catching passes. Could be a little bit of a headache. But I think the Birds, they roll them. I mean, it might come out slow. I agree with Rob, but I don't think they go down big at all. And I think they want to go 33-17.
All right,
Birds.
I like
Love
it.
that.
I like it. I like it a lot. My report will be out Sunday morning, full report, but you got 4 really smart football people's predictions today, and they're all going Birds. Yes, we're all from Philly, so surprise. And boys, I just want to thank you for being with me today during Dallas week. Jordan, thank you for being with us. Hudson, thank you for being with us. CowboysBlog.net, thank you for the Q&A. It was very insightful. Hope to do it again. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you one thing right now. It is Dallas week. Get fired up. Eagles will win this game 9-1 and bury the Dallas Cowboys. We will talk to you about it next week. Keep checking back to mouthpiecesportstalk.com. Let's report Monday. Game review on Sunday. We have everything coming for you. We are taking over. Join the revolution. And don't forget to check out Gladiator Custom Mouthguards. They are the proud sponsor of Mouthpiece Sports Talk. As the premier custom-fit mouthguard in the USA, a Gladiator is engineered with a patented cut designed to intimately fit each individual athlete's mouth, offering maximum comfort and the best fit and most protective mouthguard available. Visit www.gladiatorguards.com today to experience the difference. Glockcast, I will talk to you next week. Go Birds.